Hi friends, it's Becky, and today we are going to be finishing up the design that we started in the last video in this section. It's a two-parter, and this is part two. Part one was making this bezel around this coin bead. It's one of the red jasper faceted coin beads, and I used the 11-0 seed beads that came in the seed bead mix and these mini daggers to create a focal pendant using bead weaving techniques and bead thread. And what we're going to do now is we're going to string that using some beading wire. And I have grabbed some other beads from Sam's bead box. I've got more of these red jasper coin beads, these blue beads that have the really cool designs on them, and then some 8-0 seed beads. This was the 8-0 seed bead mix that was available in the box extras. I've got some garnet color beading wire. This is about the same color as red that we get on the these dagger beads. And I've got some 2x2 crimp tubes that we will be using to attach it to its closures. I have some wire cutters, and my favorite way of doing crimps is a magical crimper. Any other kind of crimp will work. I just like a magical crimper because it's easy for me, and I don't have to do a crimp cover. So I'll show you how that works when we get around to it. I think what I want to do is I'm going to leave this on the spool for now, and we're going to start at one end and string along, and if it's too short, we'll just add onto both ends when we do that. But let's go ahead and start with, well, let's make a pattern with our seed beads. What do you think? How about if we use one of these metallics? Blue, red, turquoise, like that, and then red, blue, metallic. And then one of our larger beads. All right, I'm going to do that pattern. Metallic, blue, red, turquoise, red, blue, metallic. I know I'm using fewer turquoise beads than the other, but I just wanted the little pop of turquoise because I've just got the little pop of turquoise in here too. I love it. This is such a fantastic box. Like, all of these colors are just so vibrant and bright and beautiful. When you put them all together, it's eclectic and lively. All right, yes, perfect. I'm so glad I got these extras. So the 8-0 seed bead mix is one that was offered in addition to, it was an add-on, in addition to the bead box. And usually those add-ons go up for sale on the same day that they do the official unboxing. And that's why it took a while for me to get started, was because I had to wait for them to get here. And then, you know, lifey things happen, because that happens with all of us, isn't it? I know some of my friends are having some major lifey things happen right now. They're getting ready for something very scary barreling down on them. If you're in an evacuation zone, I certainly hope that you're able to leave. Not everybody is able to. You have to have a vehicle, you have to have a place to go, you have to have funds. So I know there are a lot of people who say things like, why didn't somebody evacuate when they're in an evacuation zone? But there are risks and things that might get in the way of you being able to evacuate. If you have pets, they don't allow pets in like evacuation emergency shelters for people who did that. And there's, you know, sometimes a safety issue. If you don't have people with you, it can be very intimidating to have to go and be alone in one of the emergency shelters that are put up. So if you're hunkered down, I hope that you are safe, and I hope that the worst of it avoids you. Just letting y'all know that I am thinking about you, and all of my hopes and prayers are with you while we are waiting for this to pass. All right, so now I'm going to just put this through. I made a little bail on the back side of my pendant using herringbone. Oh, that was a lot of fun. It was my first time doing that, so it was kind of a fun adventure. All right, and now I'm gonna go up the other side, and then we're gonna check our length. I do like a shorter necklace, so I am perfectly fine with having something that is a little bit shorter than maybe you would like, but you might also be a short necklace guy too. All right, we're just gonna keep on going. This is such a fun box. Such a fun box. And there are so many designs that Danielle came up with and shared with us that I almost felt like I didn't even need to exercise my own creativity with this. It was like a box that was basically a kit with lots of different things to make with it. Because there were so many designs that we can do with that. And then there's so many people who are so creative and they come up with other things. I'm always so inspired by the folks who post in the gem chat. That's the Sam's Bead Shop Facebook page. They share their designs in there. Yes. You know, I suppose I could do like 2 strands of the seed beads, but no, I like it like this. I like it like this. This is good. And I like having the red right up next to the turquoise. I think it helps it pop a little bit more. All right. Keep wondering if I need a challenge to motivate me to design more, but I am having fun with what I'm making right now, so maybe I don't need a challenge. I just finished a challenge in September, so sometimes when I have been doing a challenge and focusing on one thing, my brain ends up being all over the place because I'm like, I have so many possibilities now. And then I can't concentrate on a single one because there's just so many. That feels like it is just about going to be long enough. Let me just hold this up to my neck and do a fit check to make sure. Go. All right, no, it needs to be a little bit longer. All right, and I have used all of my red jasper beads, so I'm just going to do maybe a couple more of these guys with that seed bead repeat. All right, and I'm going to add it to this side, and then make sure that I leave enough wire to do the same thing on the other side, and hope that I remember to do the same thing on the other side. If I forget, my friends, will you please yell at me through the YouTube, because it helps. There we go. And I'm just going to check and see if that one repeat would be enough. I think that one repeat will be enough. All right. So now what I need to do is, no, let's do one more. I'm going to do one more. I did, yeah. Sorry, I started having a thought and then I stopped. I was going to say, yeah, okay. Also balance-wise, having 3 of them and 3 of these and then 3 of these, and it ends up feeling a little more balanced to me instead of just having 2 up here. I don't know. I could just be me and my aesthetics, but I'm going to crimp this end. And then we'll cut our wire and crimp the other end. So I'm going to go through my crimp tube. Let's go ahead and just add my jump ring on the other side. This is an oval jump ring. And I usually find with soft flex wire that I do not need wire guardians. The coating on it is very durable. It's really strong wire. All right, let's just go through those 11s. Is that gonna go through twice? Nice. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna make sure that there's enough space between the crimp and that bead for my crimper to fit. If you haven't seen a magical crimper, it has this little concavity on the inside. It only works with 2mm by 2mm crimp tubes. And then you give a little squish once you've got it centered, and it just smooshes the corners of the crimp. And when you turn it in a different direction and then squeeze it again, and just keep turning it and then squeezing it, you got to let up the pressure to turn it first. Then it smooths out all those corners, so you've got a nice little crimp bead right there on the end. Something that is nice and smooth and looks pretty, and like I said, you don't need a crimp cover. I can guarantee that my crimp covers never look as nice as these crimp beads do. I'm just not great at it. All right, so I'm going to need some extra wire plus a little extra for crimping. So let's go ahead and cut up here. And let's finish up this end. Look at that, you guys. Don't even have to yell at me about it. I am going to actually finish this without anyone yelling at me. Of course, that is like the last words before I actually screw something up and somebody tries to remind me about something. But maybe I can make it through this time. Let's find out. But yes, I had one of my friends here on YouTube had asked me a few times if I had made anything with this yet, and I hadn't. I was still working on my challenge and doing a few other things, and then I had some bead weavy things, and so finally I am able to say yes, I have done a project with my Sam's bead box. I'm going to do the same thing on this side that I did on that to do my crimp. Just make sure we're going through our clasp. Turn it back on itself. I might maybe go through a few of these 11Os. I don't know. You don't have to go through these. The crimp bead holds really well. Like really well. But you can if you want. Alright, let's readjust that. Take up some of that slack. And here on the other side, I have to use my fingernail to wiggle between the crimp bead and that 11O so that there's some space for the crimper to go on. I just want to make sure that you're not crushing the, well, it's an 8O, not an 11O. You don't want to crush the seed bead next to it. And you want to be able to get the crimper completely centered around that crimp. Because otherwise it just mangles it. There we go. And there we have it. Market Marvels. All right. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and you'll get to see a lot of the other fun things that I get up to on this channel. Thank you for hanging out with me. My friends in the path of the storm, please be safe. Please know that I am thinking about you. All my love. Happy beading. Bye.